everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Sonia from Sonia's Mixed Media, and I'm just trying to get the camera to look right. I don't know if that's going to be glary or not. We'll see how we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm back with the video, guys. I'm going a little bit early with this, but I'll explain why. This is all my colorings for the month of November 2022, and I'm a week early. It's not quite the end of the month yet, but I am working on Johannas Christmas, and I've just got it in my head that I want to do the entire book this Christmas, so by Christmas, so I can show you guys, which is crazy, I know, because I think there's over 30 pages in that book, but I have started early, so hopefully, knock on wood, I can get it all done. So that's why I'm showing all my colored pages for November now, because there won't be any more books that I'll be working in apart from Johanna's Christmas, and I'll show all those pictures on YouTube when the entire book is completed. So that's pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'll just put these to the side. I actually bought 2 copies of Johanna's Christmas because I want to do one this year, and then I want to do it all over again next year, hopefully. And then I want to compare the 2 books to each other and see how I coloured the pages differently without looking at, this year's book. So yeah, I was watching, I think it's Rachel Henderson's YouTube channel, and she colours a lot of books. She buys 2 copies, and then she colours 1 copy, and then she colours another copy, and then she compares the 2 copies to how she coloured differently. And it's really, really fun to watch. So I thought, what a great video idea. I'm going to nab that idea. Thanks, Rachel. And I'm going to try and do that on Johanna's Christmas festive colouring book. Anyway, getting back to these are what I coloured in November, and I did a few in Worlds of Wonder to get in the Johanna Basford mood. And this is a book that I do want to complete as well. So I managed to get a few whips done this month, and I did this one here. This one wasn't a whip. I did this one yeah, from scratch this month. This was a pretty recent one. I did this a couple of days ago, and really happy with the bright festive colors. In this book, some I do backgrounds, some I don't, just depending on how I feel it will affect the image. So this one is so bright and colourful, I really didn't see a need to put like background to it. I thought it would make it too busy. So hence no background. And I think it really pops off the page just having the white background. Okay, so this was a whip that I completed. This whip was done months ago, and I just did all the background for the whip in watercolours, very messy watercolours because it all went onto this page. So basically I just finished colouring the island and the castle and the ship. And I left all this because it's underwater. I didn't colour that at all. I just didn't feel like it needed colour down there to really put across, that yes, this bottom half is in the ocean. So that's that one there. Yep, this one I did from scratch, and I really enjoyed this owl. I was looking on Instagram for people who completed this owl, and I think my favourite was, I can't remember who it was, but they did pink and purple with the green eyes. So I went with that as well. yeah, sometimes I'm not scared to say it. I do look for inspiration on Instagram and Pinterest and even YouTube to find color ideas, what I like, what I don't like. But I never ever copy a picture exactly. Like I'll never color the whole page the exact same colors as someone else. Yeah, that's to me is boring. So I do have a look what colors I like, but then I will change things in the image to make it my own. And I really love how I did the shiny gold background, the moon. I think it really is nice, and I love how I matched the colors to my previous page. What I did, this was a buddy color with my dear friend Julia. When we first got this book, I think this was the first picture I ever did. This was with Derwent Inktense, and I used glitter gel pen, I think, for a lot of the leaves. But Derwent Inktense was all the background. And that turned out really nice. So I wanted the colours to kind of match between the two. So I think that's a really nice spread. Then I did this one. Now this one was nearly a total disaster. So I did all the background. I got a plate and I traced around a dinner plate because I wanted this round section with blue. So I just used colour pencil and, you know, blended that all in. And then I coloured all the sheets and I did the star and everything. And then I started with my gold marker pen that I use. I started doing all this bit. I got to the bottom of the bed here and a huge blob of gold paint just blobbed out of the pen right here, and you can see it a bit on the mattress of the bed here. And I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? This is ruined. And the only thing I could think of to do was just to change, because this bed has normally just got legs coming down here and none of this bit. So this is the only thing I could think of to do to kind of save it. And so, yeah, I had to colour all this in to make it look like the base of the bed. And then I had some dribbles over here. So then I decided to do the gold splotches all around the page. So, yeah. So I think I saved it. It's not too bad, but it was like, oh, I just couldn't believe it. And I know it's happened to me with the Posca white pens as well, where you shake it and then you press down to get more paint to come out, and and it just goes blob and goes everywhere. That's happened a few times with the white pens, but this is the first time it happened to me with these Henley gold permanent markers. It never happened before, so I was like a bit in shock, I think. So anyway, that's that page. I'm fine with it now. And then I finished this whip here. So again, I just had all the background watercolor paint done. And so I managed to get back in and just, I think rather quickly actually. This is not a favourite image of mine. I don't know. I knew I wanted the boat to be black and red, like, because it's obviously looks like an oriental style boat. So I knew I wanted it black and red. I can't remember what pencils I used, but there's a lot of white still in the background. So obviously those pencils weren't the best to use. And my moon is all streaky. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay, this page. I like the blotchy water probably the best. But I got this one done, so that's good. I got another page done. So I'm slowly working through this book, and it's a very pretty book. I don't know why I have put it on the shelf for so long, but yeah, it's one I want to finish. Okay, then I did one in Gods and Beasts, and this was very early on in November, and I think it's the very second page I did when I got back into colouring this month. And I just decided to do these sister witches here. And yeah, I really like how the eyeball turned out. It's pretty cool. Just used, I think it's Ohuhu markers. Yeah, it was Ohuhu markers. And I knew that I wanted their faces to be, you know, different colours. So I did a bit of shading. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, so there you go. That's that one. And I've worked a little bit in the Posh colouring book. I would love to see this book completed, but it is quite thick. But one day I'd like to see it completed. But I did a couple in here. I did this one here with the girl and the pussycat. And this is all Crayola twistable pencils, and the background was just watercolour paint. Now, a lot of people say that these Posh colouring books have terrible paper. I've heard that on so many people's channels. Oh, they have terrible paper. They have terrible paper. It's awful. It is fine. If you're just using coloured pencils and watercolour paint, you will not have a problem. This paper is fine. There's no problem with the paper. None of this bled through. It's only if you're a marker person, like if you like any kind of water-based markers will go through if you go over them too much. You've got to be very light-handed if you're even going to use like Crayola super dips. But if you're just using pencil and watercolours, like I intend to do in this book, the paper's fine. I really like this one. She is so pretty. I want to fix up this flower a bit and blend it a bit in. I just did that quickly with watercolour paint, but all of this is done with pencil. And yeah, I just think she's so pretty. She's a pretty swan. And I knew as soon as I saw her that I wanted her to be in light blue. But yeah, you can see it didn't go through. I can show you where I used this first page. I used colour pencil and Crayola super tip. So they're a water-based marker. And you can see all the bits that I went over too much or pressed too hard. You can see it all bleed through on that page. So that's what I mean. You really got to stick to colour pencils, watercolour, or this page I did all crown in the background. So that one is much better. So yeah, I've learnt my lesson. No super tips in this one. Just keep it pencil. But it's such a pretty book. It's so inspiring. I really love it. And it makes me happy. All the images are just happy. And I know there's a little gnome in here that I want to do this Christmas. But I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do it because of the Johanna Basford book I'm doing, so we'll see. But I know there's a little gnome in here. I'll show you if I can find him. There he is. Isn't he cute? Little garden gnome. Anyway, that was Posh colouring book. That's by Flora Chang. Happy Doodles for fun and relaxation. The next one I've got is Millie Marotta's Tropical Wonderland Deluxe Edition. Yes, Deluxe Edition. This is a hardcover fabric edition that cost me a fortune. I had the original paperback and I hated some of the pictures I did in there and loved some others. So I cut them all out of the book and I put them into this book. I'll show you in a minute, but this is the page I did this month. This toucan, I think it's called. So yeah, there he is. Really bright and colourful. And then I just did this little mound of hill that he's standing on because he just looked like he was standing in midair. So yeah, I did that one. But what I did is was it that one? I can't even tell now. Yes, see here, because these are perforated pages, you see. Are they perforated? No, they're not perforated. I thought they were. No, they're not. I think what I did is I cut off the original page about here, and then I had enough there to glue this onto that bit of original page. So this is now my page. So I got rid of the crab that was here, and I put in the crab that I had already coloured from my original book, if that makes sense. And I did that with quite a few pages. So there's this one here. I tagged it in as well. I hope you can see all of that there. Because I didn't want to do it all over again, and I like the pictures that I've done already. So yeah, I just kind of glued them in. And so yeah, this is a book that I've really got to work in more. I spent a fortune on this book. I think it was like 40 Australian dollars, which is really expensive, plus postage I think I paid. So I really do have to work in it more. It has a thicker paper, and it's all single-sided, and I think it's meant for like people who want to use acrylics and things like that. Okay, the next one I managed to finally finish a whip in is Rick St. Dennis's Creepy Creepmas. And I've only done one page in this book. Bought it a few years ago. It's such a funny, good book though. And I finished this guy here. He's so cute. Actually, I don't think I've posted this one on Instagram yet. I'll have to have a look. I think I took a picture of it, but I forgot to post it. Because this is going to be for Misty's, what is it? Misty's Jolly Christmas, I think it is. So, yeah, I thought I'd put this in here, in that hashtag, sorry. So, yeah, all glitter gel pen set for the original door in the background, which is just a bit of watercolor paint, because I wanted that to look dark and spooky. Yeah, look at him, isn't he cute? He's naughty. And these are all single-sided, and if you love Halloween and Christmas, this is a great book because they are all spooky Christmas images. And I think my favourite is, I like this one, where it's called The Entree Bit Me. I like a cigarette in her mouth. I like this one, Dennis the Decapitator. So he takes all the heads off of the teddy bears. Yeah, that is so cool. But yeah, they're all like a scary Christmas. So this is quite an old book. You might have a hard time finding it, but if you can, it's a really, really cute book to have. Creepy Creepmas by Rick St. Dennis. Okay, I did one in my geometric book, Colour and Create Volume 1. This was the very first page I did to get back into colouring, because when I have a little break, I tend to want to do a geometric just to get into the flow of things again, and I don't want to think about shading and things like that. So I did this one here, which is nothing spectacular. That one, I think, did I do another one? I thought I did another one. Oh, I don't know now. Must have just been that one. Oh, I think I did this one. Yeah, 7th of the 11th, and that was the 10th. So this was my very first one after 4 months of colouring. So I like the colours in this one. I think it turned out nice. And I think it was just a hoo-hoos. Yeah, it bled through. So hoo-hoos. And that was my second one. Okay. So then I did one in The Magical Journey by Lizzie Mary Cullen. Another one of those books that I want to finish one day. And I just did this one here. And this was just with watercolor paints and Crayola Twistables. And I think some super tips for the path, for the fence. Yeah. So this page is, oh, what's it called? I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on. Streets of Cusco, I think it is. Which I looked up, and I think this is near Machu Picchu. Is that how you say it? I think this is a town near that area somewhere. But I sort of looked what the buildings looked like, and they were all sort of these sort of colours. So hence, that's why I coloured it this colour. So that was another page done, so I'm happy with that. Okay, then I've done a page in my Art Therapy Aztecs and Mayas, 100 Designs. And I did this geometric here, which I had a lot of fun with. And used Crayola Super Tips and my gold permanent marker. I think that's all I used on this page, but I really like the colours I chose. Yeah, I think it looks really Aztec-y. I wanted to use earth sort of colours. So yeah, I really like how it turned out. It's very pretty. It's great paper, so none of that permanent marker goes through. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this one. I've said it many times before. It's one of my favourite colouring books when I feel like doing something really different. So I got that one done. And then I made sure I did one in my Buddhism book. And I did, oh, that's not going to help me very much, that tag, is it? Because the pages are so thick, they're like cards, stockets. Here we are. I did this one. And I was going to finish colouring in these flowers, but I didn't know what colour to do them, and I thought it looked quite striking just the way it is with the red and white, so I've left it and made this Buddha, you know, the feature. So this was watercolour paint, and then I just shaded with a bit of Crayola pencils. Yeah, so I really like that double page, so I'm happy I got that one done. And I know I did get another one done, but I don't think I've marked it. This is a whip that I'm working on currently, but that's going to have to wait. Oh, this is another whip that I'm working on, so every time I grab the book out, my plan is to do a little bit more on the dragons. It's good when you got a plan to do those wallpaper pages, because doing them all at once is a nightmare. Where is it? I know I did one. Oh, I did these two. Oh, I did more than I thought. That's right, I did these two. This was just colour pencil, glitter gel pen, and for the background was just a soft pastel, and then my gold markers. This one's just a lot of soft pastel and a little bit of pencil. Very easy pages. And this is the page I was talking about that I actually remembered I did. This was all Crayola twistable pencils, and then this was Super Tips. It actually looks a little bit like watercolour, but it was Crayola Super Tips. Yeah, and some glitter gel pen around the edges here and there. So I did that one there. I think it turned out really pretty. Yeah, so did a few in that one. And then this is the last one I've got to show you. This is Inspired Colouring Tattoos. Now I have to be careful because I'm working on a buddy colour with Mary at the moment, and I don't want to, I suppose I could show it, what I'm up to. So Mary, if you don't want to see it, don't look when I tell you to. Okay, so I did this page here, this double page spread. This is all Crayola twistable pencils. I love the twistable pencils, especially in this book, because the pages are really smooth and they just sort of glide on, and the colors really pop in this book. But yeah, really love this page. I love my butterfly. I love the colors I chose. So that's that one. Okay, I did this one, just a quick one. This was in markers, unfortunately. I don't really like how it turned out. I've got to stop using markers in this book. It's a bit streaky, and I didn't know what to write on here, because there's a knife through a heart, like a dagger. So this should be someone's name that, to me, it's like someone you don't like, because you're like stabbing the heart. So yeah, I didn't put anything on there. I just left it. This is Mary Don't Look. Right, this is the buddy cover I'm working on. I just have to do this mask here. This is the drama mask with happy and sad. So happy, I started doing it in green, and then I thought, oh, green and purple go well. Oh, okay, now he looks like the Joker. So that's okay, because the Joker's always like doing that laugh, isn't he? So yeah, I'm not sure what colors to go with the sad masks now, so that's why I haven't completed it. I'm like, oh, I don't know. So, but hopefully I'll complete this today. It's on my list to do today. Okay, so I'll flip the page, and Mary, if you're watching, you can now look. I have done this page, and love this page. This is one of the images that I wanted to do right off the bat when I saw it in this book. Yeah, I just really like her. I like how I did the shading on his face, especially. I did the grey with the purple. Yeah, I like his eyes. Yeah, I really like how he turned out. And all these pages have the splotches. It's not for everybody. Not everybody loves splotchy pages, but I think it adds like a mixed media effect, like a real piece of artwork. But I really like this guy. I would stick him in a frame in my craft room, but I don't want to pull him out of the book. So that's it, everyone. That's all what I coloured in November, except I do have a book called The Art of Mindfulness, which I showed, I think, in my last second to last video, that I have been working on like a Trojan, because it's a book I want to finish. And I've done so many more pages in that book, guys. I've probably done another, like, I don't know, another 12 pages in that, 15 pages. So yeah, I will probably put up another video soon of of what I'm up to in that, show everything I've done. And then the next video after that, hopefully I've completed that book. But everything's kind of on a standstill at the moment because I'm working in Johanna Basford's Christmas book. So I'm very excited to show you that one in December, guys. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos. Okay, bye, guys.